Good afternoon. Today's job is to replace the passenger side lower ball joint on my 97 GMC half ton. It's the Sierra K1500 four-wheel drive. And anyways, as you can see this, let's see if I can reach in here. Oh, there it is. As you can see, the rubber boot's torn away. I've recently replaced my outer tie rod end, so I'm going to have to take it in for a wheel alignment. So before I do that, I figure I need to replace this. I don't have any play in it, but with the boot torn like that, it's not going to last too long. I guess to get this thing out, the first thing I need to do is get the wheel off and get the half shaft out, because this is going to have to basically come up, lift up where that is. So I need to get that out. And in order to get that out, I probably need to take out my upper bolt joint. So anyways, as I crawl out of here, the first thing I'm going to do is, that's a 1 3/8 inch socket. I could have done it with the truck jacked up. I don't have an impact for it, so I had to use my extension. Actually, that came off fairly easily. I was a lot more worried about that. I've dealt with this on front-wheel drive cars where I've had my extension and an extension on an extension, and it's been a nightmare, but it came off pretty easy on this one. Anyways, being the 97 GMC, I guess the model years 88 to 2002 are pretty much the same, so anything in this video should be the same for other trucks. But anyways, now that I got this loosened, now that I got the truck jacked up and the wheel off, I put a jack stand underneath the my lower control arm. The first thing I can do is, now that the weight's off the vehicle, is I can finish taking off this nut and washer. And I'm going to have to take off the my brake caliper, and then disconnect this wire from my anti-lock brakes, and then start taking this thing off. So I'm going to get the nut for this and do that. Anyways, here's let's see, there's a nut and a washer behind here, so I'm going to take this off and make sure I put it someplace safe so I don't lose it, and then go from there. There, the brake calipers just come off with one of these. I'm not sure what size it is. And then here's the 2 pins for it. Anyways, they just come out of here. And there's one down at the bottom. Once those are out, this thing should just wiggle off like this. I'm going to get a bungee cord first so I can hang it out of the way so it's not hanging off this hose. Then as for this wire here, it just disconnects from that. And you can see what's on the back of here is one of these things that just kind of goes into the hole in the frame. This is just a 19mm screw that goes in. No, pardon me, not 19, it's 13. That's it there. So once you get this done and out of the way, then I'm going to take off my caliper. And then I think once I do that, I will get this steering knuckle or my tie rod end out. I've already done this a couple weekends ago, so this should snap out pretty easily. I think I can just tap on it with a hammer and that should come out. And once that's out, I'll do the upper one. And there, I got my pulled my brake caliper off. Just hung it up with a piece of bale twine since I couldn't find my bungee cords. This is a pretty new to me truck, so I'm not too familiar with it. I do notice that it's got a new brake caliper that I'm not sure if it fits very well, because I do have some rubbing on my disc here. It also looks like I've got a new upper bolt joint, because normally these are held on by rivets, and this one's bolted in. And I don't know if from the fact if they come with grease nipples, but anyways, I got that. So anyways, that's beside the point. I pulled out my cotter pins for the upper, or for my tie rod end and the lower ball joint. I'm going to have to take this nut off and pop this out, and then I can turn that and get access to get this cotter pin out, and then I can probably start working on getting this bolt out, then hopefully get my axle out, and then work on the ball joint. But anyways, I'm going to see what size this is and get this off, and then go from there. Okay, I think this one here, I think this is an 18 millimeter. I just used my crescent wrench on it and it came off because I had just put it on a couple weeks ago. The other two nuts, this one and the one on the bottom, I think that's a 27 millimeter. I just used 1 1/8. This one's come off fairly easily, so maybe I'll get lucky with this one. But anyways, I'm going to see if I can pop my my tie rod end out. From what I think is I can just give it a few taps with a hammer. It should come out. I've never had much luck with this method. I've always had to use pullers, but this one, since I just put it in a little while ago, maybe it'll be easier. Ah, that worked. All right. I'm just going to turn this and see if I can get in here and get this cotter pin out without causing too much carnage. I just got to make sure nothing's binding up, and I'll go from there. I won't bore you with all the details. There, I was wrong. The upper nut, that's it's either 26 millimeter or 1 inch. Anyways, I got it loosened with my there it is, my 1 inch wrench. Yeah, I guess there you can see the play. That's quite a bit of play here. So yeah, it's probably a good thing I'm replacing this. I think that lower ball joint's definitely shot. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is just see if I can give this a few whacks with a sledgehammer and get this thing to pop off. Maybe I don't know if it'll work as well as it did for this one, but here goes. Anyways, I'll give that a couple more tries and just see how it works. I might have to, I don't want to have to use a pickle fork on here because this is a good ball joint. I don't want to have to replace it by tearing the boot up, but I'll see how it goes. Maybe I can find something else for this. Ah, finally. I mean pickle fork. What the hell am I talking about? Let's see if this one will work. Let's see if I can get in here so you can see it. I might have to move. All right, there we go. Just kind of popped out of there. I thought I would need my, excuse me, thought I'd need my ball joint press to take that out, but that kind of popped out. So let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Oh boy. Yeah, that's in pretty rough shape. Let's see if our new one looks. This is the same thing. Oh, that looks pretty close. And got a new nut. All sorts of goodies in here. So I guess the first thing to do is to get this pressed. Whoops, dropped my phone. Get this thing pressed into here. I gotta figure out which way my I think my grease nipple has to point near the back like that. So I just need to get my my press and see if I can pop that thing in. There's my ball joint press tool. I just need to figure out or see which cup and sleeve goes where, and then I'll get it all set up and start. Yeah, I think I got this set up right. I'll be able to get it in maybe about 1/8 of an inch. Then I'll have to turn this this top cup around and push it in the rest of the way. Yeah, this just takes a 7/8, so I'll just see if I can get this in a bit and switch it around. There, that looks like it's all the way in. I can take the stuff off and put it away, and then get my hub back on and put the axle back in. And we'll see how that goes. There, putting it back together is pretty much the opposite of taking it apart. The first thing I did was put the grease nipple on my lower ball joint, my new one. Then I lifted this thing into place, which is a bit of a heavy bastard. Got this nut started, and once I got that started, so it was kind of in place, then I fed the axle in and started the nut on the end. And then I was able to line it up with the upper ball joint, get that nut started. Then I had to put my tie rod in to hold this in place so I can torque this up. So I think what I'll do next is finish torquing this up, put the pin in. Then I might have to raise it up to do my upper ball joint, the nut on that and the pin. And then I'll have to do this one. Then I think I'll grease it all up and then put my wire for my anti-lock brakes back on, and then put the caliper on, and I should be pretty much finished. Everything's all greased up and the brakes are on. I just need to put away my tools, put the tire back on, and I should be finished. But it's getting late, so I think I'll do that. I'll save that for tomorrow.